passion and pageantry of college football lives here. This is the Paul Finebaum Show, Hour 4 podcast.
This might be college football heaven.
Welcome back. We appreciate you being here, and as we reset the final hour of the program, this is from Jim Phillips. He is the ACC commissioner, saying that for all of us, there's been somebody before us and there will be somebody after us. You have to serve your constituents, but you can't be completely oblivious and not mindful of what's good for college football and the fans and what you're hearing from them. What exactly does Commissioner Phillips mean by that? Meanwhile, Wilson Alexander reporting from Louisiana that Louisiana will be the latest state to introduce a bill exempting NIL money from state income tax. This is all about competition, not about common sense. Nobody will outcompete us. That's crazy. So I'm getting some information from the control room. There is breaking news, and the breaking news is this. Jim from Tuscaloosa's place in the Finebaum Ring of Honor. Remember that happened last summer over some objections, but I felt strongly that he had withstood the test of time as one of the elite callers in the show's history. That is now under investigation. Allegations are being fired left and right. This is from Tracy from North Carolina. Please strip Jim from Tuscaloosa, that is his ex-name, from the Ring of Honor. He begged to get in, and Paul felt sorry for him. That's exactly right. We do pay attention to what you say. So, any more tweets to the show will be considered and likely shared with the audience. So, the question of the hour: Jim from Tuscaloosa's recent activity, his recent comments in relation to I-Man. Should that be enough to get him expelled from the Ring of Honor? That is being discussed as we speak. Let's get back to the calls. And Judge Chris is up next.
Good afternoon, Mr. Finebaum. How you doing today?
Judge, we're doing great. Thank you.
I'm doing good because I've been hanging pictures where my wife wants them.
Oh, well, that's smart.
You fixing to do that, I think, if you move on to Birmingham.
Yeah, no, we've been in this project now for a couple of weeks, and Judge, I won't surprise you with this, but I'm learning a lot of things.
You do. Now, I noticed that Marty and McGee, I saw a video, they had made fun of your haircut, and I just wanted to remind them, I wanted to remind them that the Lord God Almighty only made a few perfect heads. The others He covered with abundant hair.
Well, Judge, I apologize for missing their segment, but what exactly did they say about my hair?
They were not saying good things they were saying things about your lack of hair.
Oh, okay. Well, I know those guys are good reporters, but I can't believe they just realized that.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, it's not that hard.
I mean, that hasn't been breaking news since Reagan was president.
No, it hadn't been. I sent you some papers. Did you get them?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. Did we get those papers, guys?
Okay. Should have got them.
My assistants have told me that they're undecided on whether to accept service.
Okay. Well, I can send the sheriff. That'll be okay. Hey, Paul. A couple of your callers who've been saying mean things, particularly about I-Man. We can expand Elon's Musk role, the Doge, to getting rid of incompetence, people that don't really contribute, and he'll fire them. He'll fire them. So that's one way to take care of some of your callers that just don't have very good traction.
Are you suggesting, Judge, that maybe from now on the lowest 10% of the callers, we should ask them to contribute an email telling us what they did last week?
Yeah. What did you do? Give me 5 bullet points of anything you did constructive last week.
That might be. By the way, that would be difficult for some of our people.
It would be. My wife Terry, she keeps me pretty busy, so I can fill out that form every day. So, but we'll get there. Hey, Paul, have a great day, man. Thanks for taking my call.
I appreciate the enlightenment. Let's talk to Jimmy up next. Hello, Jimmy. Go right ahead.
Hey, Paul, I got a Florida football question for you. Florida football just elevated Russ Callaway as a co-offensive coordinator. But we all know Billy's still calling the plays. Florida's got a lot of young talent. They finally got a quarterback. I was at that Miami game a year ago. Pathetic. My question to you is, will Billy's stubbornness cause all this talent and DJ Lagway to go downhill for Florida?
Well, I don't think that is the conventional wisdom right now. But one thing I really don't like, I don't care who you are. I don't like any head coach calling the plays anymore. I think the game is so complicated. There's so many other things going on that you're always going to be involved. You're the head coach, so no play is going in without you knowing about it or you being part of the construction or the architect. But I think it's a poor decision on his part to hang on to that.
Thank you, Paul. I agree. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. A lot of optimism about Florida, though. We shall see. John is in Virginia. You're on the air. Hello, John.
Hello there, Paul. This is John from Virginia. I just wanted to talk in behalf of Jim from Tuscaloosa. My wife just died of that terrible disease, that small cell lung cancer, and right. I know what I-Man's going through right there, but and all the prayers and all the hopes and all the dreams that you have, it just goes out the window. And I don't think Jim from Tuscaloosa really meant what he said about that. And I'll just hang up and
well, John, first of all, thanks for sharing that, and we're so sorry to hear about your wife, and all the very, very best. I have no idea whether he meant it or not. I don't know if you wish someone dead. That's not like I don't know if you get a mulligan. Maybe if you. We've all been there. We've all had terrible thoughts. Maybe once. This is about the third or fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth or ninth or 10th person he's wished dead. Isn't that more of a trend than just a one-off? Dave is up next. Hello, Dave. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Paul, I just kind of thought it was ironic that MJ comes on and wants to know how to be the caller of the year, and then you got Canner comes on and drops that bomb on Jim and really takes him to school on it.
That's a good point. I totally agree with you on that. Hey, Dave, thank you very much. That was an epic call. Rick is in Austin. You're on the air. Hello, Rick.
Paul, huge fan. Been watching you for years, even though my Horns have just joined your beloved.
Well, thank you very much. That's great to hear.
Got a question for you about the Longhorns. First year of the football season under the belt. Wanted to get your thoughts and also the amazing recruiting class that Sark has put together. And I tell you what, from a Longhorn fan, we knew we were going to compete in football, but we didn't realize we were going to have this hard a time in basketball. It's a tough league, let me tell you. But just want to get your thoughts on the Horns. I know everybody really has a warm welcome for us. They really welcomed us with open arms.
Yeah, right.
But
hey, Rick,
I'm
personally, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'm thrilled that Texas is in. I think it's one of the seismic moves in SEC history. I think that program is well positioned. A lot of transition. I think, frankly, they're better at quarterback than they were a year ago. Maybe that was because of the injury that we are learning more about, but I think Arch Manning is where it's at in college football, and I think Sark's the best play caller. I can't be more excited about where the Longhorns are. Thank you for the call. Why don't we do this? Take a break. We still have 50 minutes remaining. You want to give us a ring, you can do so. It's been a busy show here on a Tuesday afternoon heading into Tuesday night.
You're listening to the Paul Finebaum Show podcast.
And we are back. It's great to have you with us as we wind down on a Tuesday night. Sparks is up next.
Hey, Paul.
Sparky, what's up?
How you doing today?
We are doing great.
I heard him talking a while ago about stripping Jim from the Ring of Honor. I think that is a good idea.
You do?
And talking about being banned from the show, well, he's banned from a place a lot more higher and a lot more important than this show. But he can repent. So Jim, repent, son, and have a long talk with yourself and talk to your maker, because something wrong with you, man. But you can repent. I love you.
Hey, great to hear from you, and thanks for that message. Billy D is up next. Hey, Billy.
Hey, Paul.
Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon, man. Yeah, down in Mobile, Alabama, where Mardi Gras started, let's just get that straight. And, dude, there was a song by a group, and Jimmy Hall sang it. Do you know the name of the group?
I know Jimmy Hall. No, who was it?
Okay. Wet Willie.
Okay, yeah. We had Jimmy on
right now
a couple of years ago, and he was talking about his days in Mobile with Wet Willie, but I didn't realize that.
Well, no, yeah, he wrote a song, and it's all about Joe Kane, like,
Okay.
The start to finish, so like, the beginning to the end. And so, and look, just to let all the fandom know, if you are like 19 to 31, 33, go to New Orleans, no doubt about it. But if you've got a family and kids and you want to experience Mardi Gras the way it should be, come to Mobile, Alabama, because, we do it right down here. It's not a lot of, don't have to worry about somebody throwing up on you every corner, especially when they're holding like a Mardi Gras in one hand. So
tell me this, Billy, and I should know this because I've been there while Mardi Gras was going. Are there the parades and all that? Is it similar?
Man, what? Oh, the parade? Yeah, there's two tonight.
Okay.
There's two parades tonight, and the difference is here as opposed to New Orleans is you can enjoy it here, man.
Right.
But it is an age group. It is a family.
No, but Mobile is a really great city. I have many friends down there that they literally wouldn't leave for any amount of money.
Well, dude, I've been here since the age of 11.
Right.
I'm gonna go, but look, and I've been in other places, Paul. But look,
but on the other hand, Billy. I don't even know if there's a number that you could get me to agree to move to New Orleans.
Well, my wife got courted by an institution over there. I'm not going to say the name of the institution. And then when we started doing the numbers, running the numbers, and then the risks involved.
Yeah, no, I like visiting, but no, I'm not living there.
It's just like New York.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Yeah, I'm hip. All right. But anyway, hey, come to Mobile, man, and we'll treat you right. Anybody comes.
Yeah. Speaking of New York, I'd always wanted to live there as a young person. My family was from there, and I finally, for a couple of years, would go up there a couple of days a week during the fall, right before COVID hit. And by the end, there was no number that could convince me that I would ever want to live there another day in my life. It was maddening. Cam is up next. Hello, Cam. Go right ahead.
Hey, Paul. Great to talk to you. Been listening to you since about 2007.
Thank you
coming
very
on
much.
Junior varsity football practice, and I just had maybe something interesting. I went to school with Tammy's daughter.
Oh, really?
We were a real small school in Central Alabama, and my uncle loved your show. And I'm telling you, when she'd come on, she'd go. I haven't seen anybody bring any heat like she did. She would get to cutting up.
There has never been any, and I'm so sorry that a lot of you have never heard her other than maybe in a clip. But she stopped the house every time she was on.
Oh yes, sir. Most definitely. Another thing I was wanting to call about, just bring up a little something. I went to school at Troy, and I just want to say them Bulldogs need to watch out tonight. We got a dang good baseball program. Fell one run short against Auburn last two today. But I really think we're going to get the Bulldogs tonight. Thank you, Paul.
Hey, thank you. And give everybody in Tammy's family my best. Good to hear from you. Jace is up next in Augusta. Hello, Jace.
Hey, Paul. I want to bring up a piece that Bill Connolly wrote on ESPN saying the Dogs are going to regress this year. You know, I understand we have a difficult schedule, but, you know, we had the number 2 recruiting class this year. We picked up, quite a number of players in the transfer portal. And I want to know your thoughts. I mean, do you see us regressing, like Bill Connolly says in his damn piece on ESPN?
Hold on a second, Jace, because I have some concerns. I didn't think. I remember Georgia started the season number 1, and I felt, as crazy as what I'm about to say will sound, because they won the SEC championship, but I felt like the Georgia season was a disappointment.
Well, I agree, but like I said, I mean, Glenn Stockton,
James, I think, and I didn't read Conley's article. My great concern, though, is can they shore that defense up to I'm not saying to resemble what 21 looked like or 22, but to at least have a facsimile of that. I realize the running game was affected last year by injury, but I have a few questions about quarterback. I'm all ears if you want to tell me why I shouldn't.
Well, I mean, right now, I think Stockton is QB1.
Right.
But I mean, you've got I don't know how to pronounce his name, Podlowski, that is QB2.
Right.
And I mean, he was a 4-star too.
Well, who isn't?
So,
I don't have the. I mean, I think Stockton is serviceable, but how good is he? Is my question.
Well, I mean, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Stetson.
Okay.
He can throw the ball and he can run the ball. I don't think he's a Stetson at this point. But I think he can be that kind of prototype, going forward. But I don't see us regressing. Like I said, we got a tough schedule. I mean, we play Alabama at home. We got Texas at home. We
first
still
of all,
got to play Auburn.
The schedule is better than it was last year. Any schedule would be. But I think that's really a question mark. And listen, Georgia would be high on my list, but I won't make the mistake of picking them to win it all again this year. Hey, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. Let's check out Billy, who is up next.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
We're doing great.
Yes, I'd like to wish Ric Flair happy birthday today. I feel I'm in because my Uncle Raymond died Valentine's Day. He had Alzheimer's. It was my dad's brother.
Right.
He lives in Columbia, Alabama. And I'd like to wish Maria Canellis happy 43rd birthday. And today would have been Davey Allison's 64th birthday. And be 32 years old tomorrow. I'm in the World Trade Center in the basement. And I just like to hear y'all's thoughts.
Well, thank you. Hey, by the way, Billy, thank you. It's hard to believe Davey Allison, somebody that his death was one of the most shocking. I know the Earnhardt death was bigger, but at the time, living in Alabama, that was truly one of the saddest days I have ever witnessed. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it very, very much. Let's check in with Scott, who is in California. Hello, Scott.
Good afternoon, Paul. Seems like the only time I can get through is this last half hour. I guess everybody's eating dinner on the East Coast, huh?
I hope so.
Anyway, I called because every time I turn on, I catch Jim at his worst. And then I seen where you have Handsome Joe. You bringing him to New York City, are you?
What was that, Scott?
Say, are you getting ready to bring Handsome Joe to New York City?
I am going to. Handsome and I are going to New York together.
Oh, that's great.
I'm going to show Handsome
why is it Jim?
what I like, the things I like in New York.
All right.
He's in for quite a
I'm
treat.
sure you'll show him a great time. You know, why is it that Jim is always getting under everybody's skin? He's like those chiggers I told you about.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll ask him if he ever calls again. Thanks for the call. We're heading to a break. More of your phone calls right after this.
You're listening to the Paul Finebaum Show podcast.
And that game is straight ahead. Let's head to Pell City, Alabama, and AJ is up next.
I've changed my name, Paul. It's the legendary character witness for John from Missouri. He called me from the slammer today. They stuck him in, so he's going to be on that prison coffee for the next 6 months, and then he'll get out on probation. And as long as he don't violate his probation, he'll be able to maintain his membership of the sorriest university in the Southeastern Conference, which is Missouri. But, Paul, you need to this is my suggestion. I think you should make I-Man the caller of the year, just shoe in automatic. And it's simply because he just called in and told the truth about Jim. He told the God's honest truth about what Jim said. So, Jim, stay off X over there trying to make all these people feel like somebody was telling a story, because you're the one telling the story, Jim. Every time you open your mouth, you tell how bad of a story you've been writing, and that with that one arm all your damn life. And another thing, Paul, there was a what was that else I was going to say? Oh, yeah, I'm going to warn Handsome Joe, I wouldn't go to New York with Paul. He'll have you eating more kale than you ever seen in your life. And then when you get home, you go and start eating gerbil food. You might as well get you a hamster bin and start running around a wheel, living in a cage. So I'd second that. Take a little consideration on that, Joe. And we got 3 more weeks, ladies and gentlemen. And March the 8th, we'll be sitting down there in the jungle waiting on that stinking ass elephant to come in there so we can finish off the season and head to the SEC championship, ready to win it, going to the NCAA, and we're going to win it. More damn Eagle. You take that and put it in the night deposit.
Cat Daddy is up next. What do you got, Cat Daddy?
Big Paul, looking good and sounding good as always. Thanks for taking my call. Look at here, the commissioner for the ACC came out today on local news,
right,
stating that we are still in negotiations with the college football club. We will meet again in a month. Big Paul, they're just kicking, as we all did as children when we walked to school, kicking the can down the road. This is getting ridiculous.
Well, what they're really doing is just avoiding making a decision, which we all know the cliche and what that means. They're not going to do anything, but they will have to do something for 26. They're not going to do anything for 25, which essentially rendered this meeting today a complete and total waste of time.
Amen. Amen. I told you this years ago when this DEI, we started paying the college players, but most of them are not getting any money. But we have run into nothing but lawyers, and lawyers. And it's really turning a lot of college football fans off, as you probably know.
Yes, sir. I completely. Anytime you let a lawyer near whatever you're doing, you know you're going to end up poorer as a result. Thank you for the call. T-Bird is up next. Hey, T-Bird.
Hey, what's happening, twins?
Hey, we're doing great.
All right, 2 questions. So I know you watched the Bama basketball games. Do you notice the inconsistency from Mark Sears ever?
I've noticed it for weeks, yes. I'm not the only one. I think
Nate
Oates has as well.
I believe that if Bama doesn't they live or die by the 3, but if they don't miss 23s a game, I think they can beat anybody in the country.
Well, I mean, I think if you go back to the Auburn game, it was a tied game with about 5 minutes to go, and Alabama could not have played any worse if they tried.
Yes, sir. Second question. I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings with some buddies tonight, guys' night. What's your go-to flavor?
At Wild Wings?
Yes.
I'm gonna break your spirit by saying I don't eat wings, so you're gonna have to help me.
Oh man, Paul, that's all you can eat. I ate 40 last time.
Jamari in the other room said he likes hot lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, I appreciate it, Paul. Have a good one, twin.
Yeah, I just got uninvited to every tailgate party in America when I said that. Let's continue. Cole is up next in Florida. Hello, Cole. Go right ahead.
Hey, Paul. I just want to know, like, what's your opinion on the Florida Gator basketball team?
I am debating whether or not I think they have the best shot at winning it all. I think they are on the same level as Auburn. It's just a matter of how it all falls. But the resurgence of that program under Todd Golden has been one of the great stories of the year.
Yes, sir. I think they probably have the best guard trio in the country with Walter Clayton, Will Richard, and Elijah Martin.
Yeah, no, they're sensational. We're about to see them play, so I hope you'll stick around and watch the game. Let's check out Drew, who's also in Florida. Hello, Drew.
Hello, Paul.
What's up?
Hey, I just want to talk about the Florida Gators basketball team.
What do you think? Okay, that was a good call. They are better than that call indicated. Anyway, let me go to Jeff up next. Hey, Jeff, go right ahead.
Hey, Paul, this is Jeff, formerly in Birmingham, now on the Gulf Coast.
Oh, great.
Actually, not too far from Mobile, from the previous caller.
Well, you're a smart man down there by the water.
This is a good area. I've met you many times. However, my first was with Louis Grizzard at Shoal Creek.
Oh, really?
Back in 1990.
Okay.
You had all your newspaper buddies there, and I was actually the men's locker room bartender.
Yeah, no, I was covering that for a newspaper. That was the night. I'm curious, what kind of tales did you learn being behind the bar?
I couldn't stop laughing, Paul. I mean, Lewis had everybody on the tip of his tongue. He was charismatic, as you know, charismatic.
Absolutely.
He had so many stories. I went to serve drinks, and I actually spilled a drink on somebody as I was laughing so hard. And it was so funny, the guy didn't mind.
Who else was in the group with Lewis?
Oh God!
You remember anybody?
Honestly, I don't remember who else was there besides you two. I was in college. This is 1990.
Yeah, 90. I know. It's only 30, almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, and I've also met you several times. I've volunteered with the Bruno's Memorial Challenge in the regions. So I worked in the media tent. So if you saw me, you would recognize me. But you know everybody. So, but the Louis Grizzard, he had everybody laughing.
Jeff, I didn't know Louis that well, but I did. I was with him a couple of times on the radio. He came down. I used to work. One of my first radio jobs was with. You probably are too young to remember these guys, Mark and Brian. And
no, shit. Mark and Brian came to Montevallo for the.
Okay, well,
I went to Montevallo.
Louis came in one day at like 7:30 or 8 in the morning, and you can only imagine what Louis was like at 8 in the morning. And the last time I saw Louis, I actually helped him. I can't remember. It was like in the early '90s. There was an SEC basketball tournament in Orlando. And I'm not speaking ill of the dead, but Louis was so drunk he literally couldn't stand up, and I helped him get back to his hotel, which I know he didn't remember, but it was a fairly lasting memory. But the guy was, he did not miss an opportunity to party, as you well saw.
Dude. He had everybody. Like I said, I spilled drinks. I was laughing so hard. He was so
if Lewis
freaking
was
funny.
alive today, there would be nobody in the same stratosphere with him. He was so far ahead of his time with his humor.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
I've been wanting to talk to you for a couple of years about this, and I finally got in. You're not on the air now, but you know, TV wise, because of the basketball. But I like I said, we've met several times. If you saw my picture, you probably recognize me. But
well, Jeff, I hope to meet you again. And by the way, I don't know what TV you're watching, but we are on the air right now. We will take a break, and we'll come back with the final few minutes of this airing of the show in a moment.
You're listening to the Paul Finebaum Show podcast.
The Dogs have their work cut out tonight. Walter Clayton Jr., you've heard his name a few times already, and you will likely hear it all night long. Let's get back to the calls, and Emily is in Atlanta. Hello, Emily.
Hi there. My name is Emily. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm at work here at the Grove.
Well, it is great to hear from you. What's going on there?
Well, we're just watching, you know, all the sports have been on the TVs all day, and we're just relaxing, watching TV. Wanted to see what's going on over there and say hi. Say that we love you and love your show.
Emily, I can't thank you enough for saying that. Sometimes you feel like the whole world's forgotten you, but you have lifted up the spirits of all of us. You guys have a great time tonight.
Aw, thank you so much. You have a beautiful face.
You bet. Thank you so much. I'm sure the game will. Wow, how about that? That's a compliment, I think. Let's continue. Let's check out Dale next. Hey, Dale, go right ahead.
Hey, Paul, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
Wanted to talk to you about Ole Miss football this year. Give me your predictions about Austin Simmons, about Lane Kiffin's squad, and how you think we'll finish up.
Yeah, I hear good things about Austin. Now, how does he compare to last year, I think is one question. I'm thinking about the schedule. The schedule, to me, is going to be a little more challenging. I'm working off the last year, so you're at Georgia, is that right?
Yes, sir.
At Georgia will be certainly a major game. I'm just kind of. I think Kentucky's. I'm looking for. Obviously, LSU is probably the most challenging game of the first six. I frankly think Ole Miss can maybe navigate that with no losses or one. I see two. You know what? I think Ole Miss is going to have a pretty good season. I was wondering about it, but the schedule is not that difficult, especially getting Florida at home and South Carolina. I think 9-3, 10-2, somewhere in that range. Maybe 10-2.
Love it, Paul. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I would have, before I saw that schedule, I don't think I would have been that positive, but that is actually a pretty good schedule as you look at it. It's all about the schedule. That's what we thought last year until all these upsets started happening. Lila is up next in Florida. Hello, Lila.
Hi, I was wondering about the development of Thomas Howell and how when he shoots a three, it really spreads out the backcourt.
I think that's a pretty good analysis
Or
there.
spreads the floor.
And
I was wondering how you feel about that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lila, I'm going to repeat this again. I can't tell you how impressed I am with what Todd Golden and his staff have done this year. They have been just fantastic. I thought they would be good. I didn't think they would be a top 2 or 3 team, which they are easily. Great to hear from you. Let me check out. I think Lonnie, I think we lost him earlier up against the break. We'll try to finish that call now. Go ahead, Lonnie.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Lonnie. You're back on the air.
No, it looks like Lila from Florida is on the air.
Well, listen, Lonnie, I assure you, you are on the air. That you're about 8 or 9 seconds behind.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. I mean, we can debate what's on the air, but I would bet heavily on what we're saying
you're
right
good,
here.
You're good.
Okay. Well, Lonnie, what can we do for you?
Hey, I have just a message for you Updikes. I want you to listen to me and listen to me well. Hey, I have a message for the Updike Nation.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lonnie, all of us up.
Thank you,
By the
Paul.
way, all of us Updikes are waiting for this message.
I have a message for you Updikes.
Okay. I don't know why
what
you had to
we
say
did
that
to
3
you
times.
in Coleman Coliseum last weekend.
Right.
That's just a little appetizer. The main course is coming March 8th.
Lonnie, don't ever go into public speaking if you give up whatever you're doing now. I think your pregnant pauses are not going to work. Shay is up next in Florida. Hello, Shay.
Hello, just got to say I love the show, but just wanted to switch it up to college football and the Gators because they had some pretty hard contenders this year. Do you think they could progress further this upcoming year or any progress?
Shay, I thought in many ways what Florida did last year was one of the most remarkable stories in the SEC. Where I'm most concerned is pretty self-evident. It's that week, the week of the LSU and Miami game. How does Florida navigate what is clearly a landmine? LSU is going to be one of the best teams in the country with Nussmeier and Carson Beck in Miami. I think a split there is essential, and then Texas and Texas A&M before you get to the second half of the season. That's really that first half is where the year will be won. Now last year Florida blew the first half but came back strong, but I wouldn't recommend that again.
Yeah, me neither. Hopefully they come back strong this upcoming year.
Great to hear from you. Thank you very, very much. A lot of Florida callers tonight. How about Cole in North Carolina? Hello, Cole.
Hey, Paul. Can you guess who I'm a fan of?
I'm going to say the Florida Gators.
You would be correct, sir. What a coincidence.
It's all Florida tonight.
Hey, I got a question for you. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I got a question. So it's also, I mean, obviously I've been loving basketball season. It's been phenomenal. But looking towards the football season, I've been so hot and cold with Billy Napier. And I think we've got a special kid in Lagway. But I really question Napier's ability to offensively play call.
Thank you very much, Cole. Unfortunately, we'll get to that answer tomorrow.